I have no doubt whatsoever in 100 years, you're going to see consistently people dating artificial intelligence.
So Michael, I had a question. In the AI era, if you had a chance to live forever and never die, you could like upload your personality to a database or something, and then everybody that loved you never had to lose you, would you do it?
So the thing from my perspective, or from the individual's perspective, it's kind of a meaningless question because you are still dead. Even if you upload, this is like one of the issues that Ray Kurzweil talks about in The Singularity is
He
Near.
was my first red pill.
Yeah, for sure. But one of the things he talks about in that book is, as I replace your amygdala, then I start replacing parts of your neocortex, then I replace your optical nerve with like artificial like pieces. At what point did you die? Because at some point you died. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
At some point, once I replace your heart and your lungs and your liver, and your entire form is either uploaded to some kind of consciousness, or I start replacing body parts, at some point you technically died. When was that? And does that consciousness remain, or did you actually die? It's a really interesting fundamental question. The thing is, I don't know how healthy it would be to be able to just hold on to people forever. I don't know. Like, death, it's hard for people to deal with this, but death is an evolutionary adaptation because there's 110 billion people that have ever lived on this planet, and if all 110 billion of them were alive right now, it'd be problematic. It'd be very problematic.
Of course, and it's going to disproportionately only be, of course, the crazy rich people.
I think it'll be that for a while, but we were saying the same thing about cell phones. I mean, we're talking about the R&D. These companies want to turn a profit, so once the R&D is up there to upload, also uploading someone's brain doesn't seem like once you come up with the technology for it, that's going to be extensively expensive. Putting someone in cryogenics for 100 years, that seems expensive. But uploading someone's consciousness, I'm not saying it's not hard to do. What I'm saying is, once you do it once, what's to stop you from doing it again?
I worry about cryogenics in the prison colony sense. Like, what if they could make you just stay for like 100 years for like stealing bread?
You're in cryo?
Yeah.
Well, that would be preferable. Like, honestly, if you could serve out 15 life sentences in cryo, wouldn't you do that?
Well,
you
what
just
if they
wake up
could?
one day and
What if they could manipulate your experience of time, and you get exaggerated sentences where they drag out the time you perceive time in a short amount of time?
So the issue is now we're dealing with, a lot of hypotheticals about changing their experience. We don't even have AI yet,
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. And there's also a theory, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about this. We're going to get to a point where, like, what if we can never replicate the human brain? What if there's an error? What if there's like a component of randomness that can never truly be replicated because our brains are created through natural selection, and each one of them has different, micro changes to them. Some of them are features, most of them are bugs, actually. And then we just come to the realization that we can't quite replicate that artificial intelligence, positronic brains, and machine learning are too perfect in order to replicate the randomness of a human brain.
Consciousness is such a unique anomaly in such like a magical thing on this entire universe, and nothing is ever going to duplicate
Well, consciousness, I think you can replicate, but the randomness of the human brain, I'm not sure if you can.
So if you were in the dating market and somebody approached you and you fell in love with a girl and you found out she was AI, would you feel betrayed, or would you keep dating her?
It's really funny. AI really wouldn't be a problem. I have no doubt whatsoever in 100 years, you're going to see consistently people dating artificial intelligence. I think because if our AI validates you more, look at the transition. There are more men right now getting validation for pornography than their girlfriends.
Digital girlfriends from like OF.
That's unassailable. And when you come to the idea of like, would men prefer like perfect AI girlfriends versus a girl who threw a drink on their face, and then also no necessity for self-improvement.
Right.
I get any girl I want,
You can
and she changes what she looks like whenever I have sex with her. Of course, it's not
she'll never steal half your stuff.
It's not. There is no question. But here's the other question: what happens when women are able to create babies with 23 alleles from 2 women? Then they won't need men anymore.
Right. Well, there's already artificial womb, laboratories, I suppose. So how do you feel about the prospect of marriage? Are you bullish or are you bearish on marriage?
So personally, I don't know. For myself personally, it's a decision I'd have to make at a later time. But overall, the institution is going to suffer. But it'll reach a point of equilibrium where a certain group of people are just going to be perfectly in balance for equilibrium for one another, and those people are going to get married. But you're going to see fewer. Like the incentive for men to get married right now is just it's dying off because of family court, because of what's happened where women are out there like openly boasting about juicing men, and because of things like open OnlyFans. It's nobody's fault. It's not like it's just guys' fault or women's fault. But yeah, marriage is on the decline, and the divorce rate is going up. And I don't see anything to stop that. There's no like moral background that's going to happen where everyone's going to, what's going to happen tomorrow? We're all going to start reading the Bible and we'll all start getting married. If you guys think that's the case, you're just living in a delusion.
Or Oklahoma.
The Overton window consistently shifts to the left. I mean, you say that, but gay people can get married in Oklahoma now, and they couldn't 50 years ago. The reality is the Overton window will consistently shift to the left, and as that happens, you're going to see that marriage is not an institution that fits in that Overton window.